Progress update. For those of you who've known me, I've been trading for some time now, and by doing so, you come to find out that gold is actually one of the hardest things to trade as far as predictability and zones go. So what I've did lately in the past 6 months is I've took my gold trading skills and I switched it over to regular Forex pairs. And I've come to find out that the smaller currency pairs, like New Zealand versus Australia, for example, or Japan versus Canada, their price action is a lot slower, but it's so much more stable in the sense that being the 4 hour channel, there's 4 hour channels here, 4 hour candles. This is a channel, by the way. Um, when you actually look at the forex pairs of the lower currencies, you could see that being that the 4 hours is reflective of business time, I'm going to show you something I've come to find that's definitely accurate and really is kind of a shortcut or maybe some kind of armchair theologian uh, execution here, but you see how this channel is respecting this line and this line on the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen? The 4 hour channel parameters are so solid, but they're so slow. But I call them like a old freight train, old trusty. And since I found out this in the last 6 months, I'm going to show you some of these trades I took. I'll be real quick, but they're all based on the 4 hour channels. Okay, so here's the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. You see this red line here? I want to show you the before and after. So here in my Telegram group, um, this was December 2nd, and I had the setup for the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. And so here's the before, and right underneath it is the after. And we're running 50% back into this big channel here. But what's important about these trades is that notice how if the price is respecting this line and this line, your buy zone here, you got virtually no drawdown. Isn't that amazing? So this is what I've come to find out on the 4 hour channels on the smaller currency pairs, the way they act. So I want to show you a couple of my trades here. But I want to emphasize that this line here, look at this, my eyeballs here, before, and here's afterwards. The respect of this trend line is everything if you want those zero to drawdown trades. So this was the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen. This was the British pound versus the New Zealand dollar. Again, your bottom channel line. We're in an uptrend, a bullish run, so it's respecting the channel. And as you can see, my little happy face. Again, another no drawdown entry. And what did it do? It cycled right back up into the channel. Perfect trade. You couldn't ask for any better, especially from a guy from the trailer park who never had a degree in this stuff, just somebody sitting back watching how gold works for years, only to find out that my trading skills work so much easier on regular Forex. So there's two trades, no drawdown. That was the setup. And this was about 3 weeks ago or something. Euro dollar versus New Zealand. Again, using the 4 hour channel. Respect the line, respect the line, respect the line. And a channel is going to be a channel until it breaks. But look at that. Full take profit all the way back up into the channel, to the channel top from bottom to top. Good old before and after right there. I call this the old trusty freight train, the 4 hour channel. So here's another one. Well, that was actually, I don't have a pre-op for that, but that was the British pound. Oh, no, I do. Yeah, British pound versus the US dollar. This butterfly you're looking at is a harmonic pattern, and I knew that this pattern had to complete. And so here was the setup. And notice here, this red area, that's my stop loss, and this is my profit take. I didn't have any drawdown on that either, right? But that's not in our 4 hour channel, so let's disregard that. I just want to show you the stable trades. Here we go again. Here's gold, a before and after. And then I like this one too, New Zealand versus the Swiss franc. Descending channel. And if anybody actually sees this on the bigger time frames, New Zealand dollars versus the franc is going to keep going down because it's been going down for years. But once again, this was about a 3 week trade. And again, no drawdown. Perfect entry using my 4 hour channel lines. And I just want to show you this is very real. And I am not somebody with a bachelor's degree. I'm nobody in a hedge fund or a financial institution will hire me because I don't have that social clout or the credit. But what I do have is my system that works, and I will show you in real time why it works so well. It's what I call angular precision. And I'm not a college financial market analyst graduate or anything. I'm a gold trader, but on these forex markets, you see how I'm making this line here? See how we have our touch point in a big bearish downtrend? Well, I made this line at our touch points, and we're going to clone this angle to the top of the price that's descending down. And boom. You see how this was the top of this descension that we could see? This is why, by algorithms, it didn't want to go past here. It was a beautiful trade, but now we broke out of the channel. The trade's done. This was about 3 weeks. But based on Elliott wave, you never want to go more than 4 or 5 waves in a channel. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. It kind of reminds me of that Kenny Rogers song that goes, "You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em." And because a lot of people today are into like cryptos and stocks, well, this is nothing like that because people who buy crypto think, hey, crypto's going to go to the moon and the price, it's going to fly. And then when it does fly, it goes up so high and they're rich. And then all of a sudden they think the moon, no, it's going to go to Jupiter. But as soon as they think that, the price crashes back down to earth, and they're all depressed because they lost all their money because they didn't take profit when they were in the profit range. So right here, what we would do, if this was my successful trade, I showed you in the beginning with this, the Canadian dollar versus Japanese, we're 50% back into the channel, right? But based on the Elliott wave rules, uh, one, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're safe to sell this here, safe to buy this here, but after this, will it descend back into the channel? Probably not. It will probably do a break and retest and go higher because we are bullish overall. We're going up. But this is how price action works. So if you have 3 or 4 waves in the channel, and it's respecting your algo line, you got these zero drawdown sells, zero drawdown buys, and world keeps on spinning. Thanks for listening, and I got more of these in the works. Actually, I had posted here in my trading group my other setups that I'm working on right now. Here we go. We're looking at US dollar versus Canadian dollar. I don't know what the Canadian dollar is called. And I'm also looking at gold. So I got two setups forming on my 4 hour channels. And, I'm not somebody who's got a 6 figure trading account. I'm a tile setter. I'm a tile setter. And sometimes with trading, I'll turn $300 into $1,000. But then bills come along. And, it's hard to actually get that big working capital because these kind of trades take a couple weeks sometimes, not about 10 days, but some of them can go for 3 weeks before hitting your full take profit. And so I've never had like an investor to really see what I'm able to do and put it to work. But what I emphasize is when you look at this channel, to buy in here, the no drawdown is a key. And I noticed that on these time frames, the Canadian dollar, somebody is controlling these algorithmically for their sake. For their sake. You see, there's 200 central banks in the world, country banks, should I say. There's 200 of them in the world, and the smaller ones like Canada, they have to do what favors them. So we're following them, so to speak, but I'm following their channel. And this is what I wanted to show you guys. There it is.